Weeks 4 and 5 are over, and so the whole tournament is almost finished. This video was originally just going to cover week 4, but then the only match of week 5, which is the losers finals, got played a bit early when I was working on the video, and so I figured, what the hell, I'll do them all together, and so that leaves only the grand final for the final video of the series. So the losers semi-finals was Pegasus versus Budgeblasts on TP Forest, with Pegasus winning 128-3. If you didn't catch last week's coverage video, this match was actually played over 2 weeks ago now, so we already knew this, but now I actually have some footage of the match and I can tell you a bit more about it. And I won't sugarcoat this match, it was a complete stomp by Pegasus. Budgeblasts did not play good. They were on offense first, but they hardly ever went for points when they were attacking. Instead they were fighting around the outside of the point and trying to flank their opponents or hunt for frags. Unfortunately they had no coordination and no aim, so Pegasus were easily able to single them out and get easy picks. And so Budgeblasts came out of the first half with a measly 26 points. For those of you that don't know, TP Forest has a different scoring system than usual because it's the only map in the competitive pool that's truly asymmetrical. The teams play until one side gets 125 points, then they swap sides and the loser's score is subtracted from the winner's score. Winners get the remainder of those points and then the losers start the second half with none. And then the two teams play again until one of them reaches 125. There's not a lot to say about Pegasus's play. They usually split up into a pair of two who played fast and aggressive, and then a single passive player who would spot and contest flankers or support the team when needed. X-Boots and Festo both pulled off aces, and there was a well-used dynamite buy in the first half as well. Both teams did actually have some minor connection issues during this match, but there weren't any pauses or anything, and so everything played out as usual. So Pegasus proceed to the losers finals to play against RNG, and Budgeblasts were eliminated from the tournament. In the winners semi-finals, my team Guitar Watson and the Huge Gamers faced off against Orange on TP Yosemite. We won 104-16, and even though we came out on top of most rounds with 10 points, it wasn't actually as much of a stomp as it looks like on paper. It wasn't a particularly eventful match, to be honest. There were a few sick plays and cool strategies and funny moments, but most of it was run-of-the-mill play. Both teams were pretty well coordinated and fights usually played out quite sensibly. As far as players go, the most impressive by far was Molecule's quick Peacemaker race about halfway through the match. There were a few other great plays where players were making very fast 2Ks or 3Ks, or maybe playing out a 1v1 very nicely, or in Little's case, briefly going ham with the axe. Oh, and Orange did team kill twice during the mid-fights. I honestly didn't even notice this during the match, but there it is. So Guitar Watching and the Huge Gamers proceed to the grand finals to face off against the winners of the losers finals, which was just barely won by Pegasus. Pegasus won the match 60-56 on Abandoned, and their win can definitely be credited to their explosive mid plays, which won them many rounds that, in my opinion, they really didn't deserve. But Orange would overextend, and they would peek one by one and whiff shots, and so Pegasus managed to pull through and win the match. To their credit, Pegasus did actually have some pretty good plays of their own, X-Boots in particular, and the Orange players were generally pretty good too. Molecule was the top scorer of the match by a comfortable margin, but my special mention goes to Push and Turn for some really nice clutches and denial plays. There were also some very silly plays in the match. This time Orange managed to not team kill at all, but X-Boots on the other hand wiped out both of his teammates with one stick of dynamite while they were capping last point. I really don't know if it was deliberate or not, but it did happen, and somehow Pegasus managed to win that round 10-1 anyway. Pegasus players also had a habit of kicking TNT barrels at walls and bits of empty ground, but at the end of the day a win is a win, and they did win the match. So the grand final is going to be played this weekend between my team and Pegasus. Yesterday we did the map picks with them to decide the 3 maps that it'll be played on, because this one is a best of 3. And so the way that the map picks work is that the teams will take turns banning maps until 3 remain, and then each team will pick a home map and the other one becomes a tiebreaker. You can see the picks here on the screen. Our home map is Abandoned for obvious reasons, and Pegasus's is Yosemite. I'll be streaming my POV of the match at the time. It starts at 8:30 PST on Sunday, so if you want to catch it yourself, you can open the Twitch link in the description at that time. Or you can spectate in-game by going into the Spectate tab in the server browser and then just searching for the match itself. After that match is played, I'll be back again with a coverage video for it, and I'll also put up all of the recordings that I've done of the matches and my POV of the final. So please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back in a few days. Thanks for watching.